What's up, brother? It's been a while. I know. Took a little break from recording because I'm in school, as you know. You don't know what I'm studying, but yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. But I had three tests in 1 week. It was midterms, so I had to just set that aside. Really, really grind on those tests. Did really well. Got a 99 on bio, a 97 on chem, and then still waiting on my third one. So it's been great, but it's time to get back to it. So here I am this morning, and I got a couple of ideas last night that I wanted to, discuss with you. Pretty important topics. The main one for today's video is going to be how pathetic male sexual function has become, and ways to improve, your testosterone levels, your sexual function, and just discussing the most looked up or most researched topics regarding sexual function and testosterone, etc. So to get started, I want to mention that there we have seen a large rise in social media posts regarding men's health, sexual function, which is not bad at all. But this leads me to believe that there is a strong correlation with men's health and sexual function declining over time. We take a look back at our relatives, our past relatives, our grandparents, our dads, grandpas. Their testosterones were well in the thousands, easy. It was abnormal for their testosterone not to be over 1,000, and that was due in part because of all these, toxic agents, all these horrible habits that we were picking up and we're indulging in, all these terrible foods that we're eating and ingesting, putting in our body. They all inhibit testosterone production, and they pretty much limit your overall sexual function, rendering it essentially useless. And now, granted, there are a couple of studies indicating that higher testosterone levels, and it has been proven that higher testosterone levels are correlated with decreased fertility. However, there are ways to offset this, and back then, fertility wasn't an issue. Just look at the baby boomer generation. My father, his testosterone was immense, and it probably still is immense because he's only 47. So, and sure as hell acts like it, but I'm sure it's well over the thousands, easy. And these individuals had no issues with infertility, but now that our testosterone is, sub fucking 500, if you're lucky to get over 500, that's just leads me to believe that all these factors are contributing to, sexual dysfunction, low testosterone, hypogonadism, which is decreased fertility, decreased testosterone production, and decreased testosterone can lead to a variety of health issues. Testosterone is needed everywhere in the body for multiple processes. We're not going to discuss that today. We're simply just going to look at the facts of, the evidence surrounding decreased testosterone and decreased sexual function. So one of the biggest things is that arising is, like I mentioned, social media posts regarding sexual function, how to increase testosterone, how NoFap benefits testosterone production, which there are a couple studies, very few, but there's a couple that we'll talk about. But ultimately, that another key piece of evidence here is the surge of posts on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram. I've read a study, and they accounted all the views and all the posts regarding men's health and sexual function, which isn't bad. I'm all for it. I'm advocating for sexual function improvements and male overall performance and improving. And that's what I want to do. I want to help you improve your overall male performance and sexual function, testosterone production. But there's key things that you have to understand. It's imperative that that you realize that these certain things are inhibiting it, and you have to overcome that desire for these things. And not only will that increase your testosterone, but you'll notice an increase in dopamine as well. And dopamine is the main driving force for pretty much everything we do. So if you want to listen to dopamine, there's an amazing podcast Andrew Huberman makes discussing how to improve dopamine. I'll make a video on it eventually. But anyway, enough sidetracking. So this study that was talking about or comparing the different posts on social media with male function saw that was after the pandemic there was a 2.3 billion impression rate on TikTok regarding men's health and function. That's a third of the population. I'm sorry. It's a quarter of the population because our population's like 8 billion now, which is fucking bizarre. But anyway, so a quarter of the population is looking for remedies about male sexual dysfunction. And a lot of them originate in the United States. Why? Because we have the worst food industry ever. And not only that, we allow people to gain access to fucking watching porn all the time. Or fucking playing video games, which that's not going to decrease your testosterone. It's really just the inactivity portion that decreases the testosterone. So I'll make another video on video games and why it's the advantages and disadvantages of that as well. But it's really what it comes down to is overindulgence in porn, overindulgence in sex or masturbation, which the whole no-fap schema is tied around watching porn and not jerking off, which that's fine. I love no-fap. I've been on it for fucking forever. So, but anyway, and there was another part of the study that mentioned there was 3 million posts on Instagram regarding men's health and sexual function, which is great. But how accurate are these posts? Because a lot of them could be spreading false information. Like, studies show that when you don't look at a woman, your testosterone increases. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up. Like, it's not true. Okay? So obviously watching porn is going to decrease your testosterone production because it's related to dopamine. It's related to sensitizing your brain, your body to being a watcher of porn or sexual activity, not actually engaging in it. So you have less interest, less desire to seek sexual activity, which is horrible for your brain. God, I'm going to make a video on porn. It's so fucking bad for your brain. There's so many studies regarding, exposure to porn, no-fap, etc. Which, granted, there is results, there are benefits to no-fap, but there's also some disadvantages as well. Just a side note right here, there was a study that noticed they were doing no-fap individuals, and they tested them for 3 weeks. The first one, there's only 2 studies. There's only 2 studies regarding testosterone function or testosterone production and levels in the blood and no-fap. So the first study showed after 3 weeks, men's testosterone significantly increased, but that was not jacking off, but it was still engaging in sexual activity. And then hence the second one was actually, they saw after 1 week of abstinence, which would, no porn, obviously no porn, no masturbation, no sexual activity, I saw an increase of 146% of plasma testosterone levels, which is pretty damn impressive. However, they did find on day number 8, after, so a week is 7 days, I hope you know that. And then the next day, they saw a significant decline, which I don't understand. They didn't really go into any detail on that, but maybe it could be something to do with testosterone being a cyclical hormone, so it's produced cyclically, kind of like growth hormone, and etc. It's produced certain time periods of the day, certain stimulations also, but I don't understand the physiology behind that. I will need to look into that a little more, maybe discuss with some physicians that I know as well. But yeah, so that was just pretty much regarding the whole sexual function niche on Instagram and TikTok. Now we're going to discuss why testosterone is important in, just overall function and health. So obviously, I'm sure you know this, testosterone increases drive. It's associated with increased mood, increased desire, and motivation for not only sex, obviously. Getting women is very, very easy. You don't actually fear going and speaking to a woman because it's weird. But testosterone is fucking awesome. It's amazing. But the sad thing is men don't know when high testosterone is anymore without exogenous help. So this would be like TRT. And there are certain conditions like chronic kidney disease or hypogonadism, like congenital deformations that actually cause decreased testosterone, decreased sexual function. We're not going to talk about that because there is nothing these people can really do about it because it's a congenital or a genetic deficiency. And there is only medical intervention that can actually fix these individuals' testosterone levels. So that'd be TRT, and when doing that, you have to look at the efficacy of it, whether it's, evaluate the risk and benefits. If it's really needed and if it's absolutely dire that you need this, then yes, we should do it. However, if it's like borderline low, but there's other concerns for interactions with, health and function, that you just compare the benefits and risks. That's really all it is. However, most men's testosterone nowadays is sub 800, which is, I'm sorry, 800 would be in the high side for the average for men today. Most men are around 400 to 600, and which is kind of pathetic because, given our ancestors, testosterones could have been up in the 2000s, and that's just insane. Like 2,000 nanograms per deciliter of testosterone. That's kind of ridiculous. I couldn't even imagine that the motivation, the drive. That's probably why, some of your grandpas, your dads, they fucking work so fucking hard. Like, I know my dad is a fucking grinder. Like, this dude works his ass off. And that could be because of testosterone. His testosterone could be so fucking high still. But anyway, that's enough for that. Now we're going to talk about ways to actually improve your testosterone levels. So one of the main reasons your testosterone is so garbage is your diet. So your diet is dog shit. You cannot eat out. You can't eat fucking greasy foods. Greasy foods inhibit testosterone production. Granted, you need LDLs and HDLs and triglycerides to actually make testosterone. You don't need an overabundance of low-density lipoproteins, LDLs, that can cause a variety of health issues, atherosclerosis, hypertension, which would be secondary atherosclerosis because it's atherosclerosis is hardening of the blood vessels or the arteries. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. Testosterone is it's a metabolic hormone, meaning that once it's inside the cell, it stimulates, increased metabolism. It's kind of similar to growth hormone and thyroid hormone, except it has different function. It's an anabolic hormone, meaning it promotes growth. So it's more similar to growth hormone, just not as potent. Growth hormone is some fucking crazy shit. It improves every aspect of cellular function, and it's very dangerous if consumed improperly. And you can't even get it without a doctor's approval anyway, so, well, you can, just not legally. But anyway, another reason that your testosterone is so bad is because of your poor habits. It really is. Your habits, you don't work out, you don't exercise, you don't intake in, healthy activities. You gotta work out, man. Strength training. I would say strength training at least 3 days a week is sufficient enough. And then cardio. You've got to do cardio. You got to get off your ass. You got to move. People sitting in desks, desk jobs, fucking terrible for testosterone production. Terrible, because you're seated all day. Your legs probably super, super close together. And the heat from your underwear or your boxers is, trapping your testicles, so the heat is increasing the external environment, or the external heat around the testicles. And testicles are very, very sensitive to temperature change. You notice when you get cold, your testosterone, or your testicles pull up into your stomach or your lower groin area, and then when they are warm, they will expose themselves or hang lower, essentially, to allow them to be free to expose themselves to more air. But anyway, so sitting around with tight clothing on, especially in the groin region, crotch region, is very, I wouldn't say too detrimental on testosterone production, but it may be detrimental on semen quality. And now we're not going to discuss semen quality because testosterone may indicate, like, too much testosterone may actually decrease semen quality and total amount of semen or sperm. So there are contraindications, but we're not going to discuss those. So really what you need to do is you start exercising, and you need to stop eating fatty foods. Like, stop going to McDonald's and eat a fucking cheeseburger. It's fake. It's fake fucking food. Like, you're putting fake food into your body. How are you going to benefit from that? You're not. You're not benefiting at all, okay? Your body will use whatever it can, but it's not, you're not getting the proper nutrition from it because it's literally a fake fucking patty. It's like, dude, just thinking about it doesn't even sound appetizing to me. I am starving right now, and I would fast. I wouldn't even eat fucking McDonald's. I wouldn't take that food. I would fast before I ate that shit because I know my body is benefiting from, not having that food instead of trying to fucking work extra hard to digest this garbage ass food that you just ate that really has essentially no nutritional value except for protein, and the protein is dog shit because it probably doesn't even have a full amino acid profile. So anyway, so diet, exercise, and now third and last that we're going to talk about today is porn. So porn will actually decrease your testosterone production because you are essentially inhibiting other factors that are responsible for elevating testosterone or testosterone secretion, testosterone binding, etc. And this comes with decreased decreased sensitivity to sexual activity. That was a lot of activities right there. Decreased sensitivity to sexual engagement, so you do not desire sexual activity. This may not actually directly inhibit testosterone production per se, but it might give the feeling of low testosterone because you don't seek women, you don't want to. Why would you want to have sex? You can just fucking pull out your porn. You can pull out your porn, fucking pull it out, and then you pull out your cock next to it, and you're just stroking your little weeby watching your porn. Like, okay? It's so much more efficient than the hard work, the work it takes to fucking talk to a girl. Yes, I know, it fucking sucks. Talking to a girl it's hard. It really is. But once you master get the charisma, per se, to talk to these women, get the confidence, establish your confidence back. A big factor, inhibiting your confidence would be watching porn, because confidence is associated with desire. If you don't desire a woman, you're not going to want to go talk to her. And you're just going to look at her and just like, so hot. I'm going to go jack off now. I'm just thinking about her. Like, dude, go fucking talk to her. Why would you just jack off watching, just looking at her? Like, dude, that's fucking sad. Okay? What you know is, like, when you have high testosterone, high drive for a woman, is when you start to get very aroused just even looking at her. Like, just looking in her direction. That's like after abstinence, if it's been, abstaining for a while, no FAP. I've noticed this a lot. Like, just sometimes looking at a woman, it's so fucking turned on. It's ridiculous, but it feels really good. I love it. I love that feeling. So decreasing or totally eliminating porn will drastically not improve your testosterone, but give the effect of increased testosterone, which would be increased sexual drive, increased desire for women, for pleasure from women, and not from your fucking phone in your other hand. Like, dude, come on. So stop eating food that is garbage or fatty. So don't eat greasy foods. Like I mentioned, don't eat out. We're not going to discuss total physiology today because it's a lot. There is a lot that will increase estrogen and decrease testosterone, because essentially estrogen is made by testosterone converted into testosterone is converted into estrogen by aromatase. Aromatase is a enzyme that catalyzes the reaction between testosterone and, I'm not even going to discuss that, but essentially you have breakdown of testosterone to make estrogen. So now you are essentially becoming a bitch. So some of these foods are estrogenic. There are estrogenic concerns for other estrogenic substances in like plastic bottles, so like plastic water bottles, plastic forks, knives, plastic plates, anything made of plastic. There is concern for estrogenic substances like BPA and actually affecting estrogen production, really increasing it and decreasing the amount of testosterone. So that could be another one where you just pretty much limit your exposure to plastics. Don't pick up plastics. Don't use plastic. Don't drink out of plastic cups. Don't drink out of plastic water bottles. I know it's hard because sometimes just it's so convenient just to pop a water bottle open. And no forks, especially no forks. Nothing in plastic containers, which is hard to avoid because everything is made of plastic. So just until more studies come out, I would just limit your exposure to it because it may be tied to decreased or increased estrogen, decreased testosterone. So, and like I mentioned, just a quick summary. Once again, don't watch porn. Don't sit around and do nothing. Be active. Exercise. Okay? Exercise, lift weights, lift heavy weights. Do some masculine shit with your friends. You need to find some better friends, not some beta males. So that diet, your diet is dog shit. You need to fix it because your testosterone will not improve unless you eat the correct foods. An example of a correct food would be like eggs. Eggs is high in cholesterol. Cholesterol is a precursor to testosterone, and if you don't eat a shit ton of eggs because it's high in fat, and there's other effects. So eating too much of a good thing is not good. So just appropriate amounts of eggs. So you get like 2 or 3 eggs, and then substitute the other half with egg whites. So you're not getting the overwhelming amount of sodium, testosterone, or cholesterol, and other potentially harmful, if in excess, nutrients. So that's all I got for you today, brother. I hope you enjoy. Just start to change these habits, and you will notice a big increase in your testosterone, in your sexual desire, and your sexual function. So your PP not working anymore. Give this a try, okay? Give the things that I mentioned a try. I promise you will notice a big increase in confidence, sexual pleasure, or sexual pleasure, desire for women, and overall mood and motivation. So that's all I got, brother. As always, stay safe, stay strong. Love you, bro. Peace.